Alright guys, this is Chili Dog with Loam Wolf, and we're here today at Newbury Park Bike Shop in Thousand Oaks. We're going to check out something super cool. We're going to test ride the Pivot Shuttle e-bike. One of the first ones I've ridden for sure because they're pretty new to the United States. They've been out in Europe, but this is their first time on US soil. So let's go check it out.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Ben Cox, own the shop here at Newbury Park Bike Shop. Today we're doing a little launch with the Shuttle, some e-bikes, and just giving you guys a tour. So we've been here now in this shop about 4 years. This is our 5th location. We've been in this parking lot for 52 years now, and this is our shop. This store we have about 500 bikes in it at any given time. We carry Giant, Cannondale, Pinarello, High Bike, Pivot, Santa Cruz, Haro, and we do our own line of beach cruisers, lifestyle stuff called Cali Cruisers. Back here we got our service department. We hold about 150 bikes. The ceiling here is about a week's worth of work for our guys. I guess the big reason we're here is the Pivot. So let's bring it out. There she is. A little dirty. This one's mine. We're gonna clean it up before the guys ride it today. Carbon frame. This one's an extra large. It's on the scale at 43 pounds, which is pretty dang light and pretty awesome. Great suspension, Fox 36, the Elite float DPX rear, electric Shimano XT shifting, so super fast, super crisp. 2.8 tires, tons of traction. The new XT 4-piston trail brakes, which definitely stop you fast. And then basically this is built around a Mach 5.5 Pivot's new trail bike. So you got 140 in the rear. This is set up right now with 150 in the front on a Fox 36, and it's pretty killer. It doesn't get any better. Chris from Pivot just told me to turn it on with it on the ground and no weight on it. I guess it actually calibrates the motor. So if you're sitting on it loaded, it's going to change the way the motor actually functions and everything. But every time you load it up, it checks for new firmware from Shimano. And then once it's up here, you can customize just about everything. So the bikes show up from the factory in what's called dynamic mode. Basically you have eco, the trail setting is in low, and the boost setting is in high. There's explorer mode, which is another preset one from Shimano, so drive unit. So you can see here you've got dynamic, that's how it comes preset. Boost is high, trail is low, in eco mode. Explorer helps just conserve some battery life, so boost is medium, trail is medium, and then eco. I put in custom. If I want it out there, eco, I want trail medium, and if I'm going to boost, I want it high. All right, might as well. So saved it, it just reprogrammed the motor on how all those settings work, which is really cool. And then if you want to go into your display, you can change what your default is, you know, metric, standard, everything that's currently on there. And then multi-shift, I have it set for really fast. So if you press and hold this, mine's set to just start smacking through gears, and there's no limit on it. So you can limit how many gears it'll go, speed at which it'll auto shift, all that stuff. And then obviously we can just check and make sure all the firmware is up to date. It's reading everything. I did one yesterday, so everything's at its latest. The motor, the shift unit, all that stuff. This is great because it's free for customers. So if they have an issue with the bike, they can download eTube, they can log right in, they can fix whatever it is. They don't have to bring it in the shop. It's just able to be fixed really anywhere. So, pretty cool.
All right, so we stole Ben's bike. Now we are in the truck driving to the trailhead to test this thing out. Let's do it. All right, so made to the trailhead, and we're gonna take this bad boy out. Should be sweet. We also have a Levo here for a little benchmark testing for comparison. So I'm gonna switch over to the GoPro, and then we'll take this thing out. All right, so we're at the top of the trail, or the bottom, I guess. He warned us that the bike needs to be turned on without any weight on the bike and without the bike moving. So we did that. So now we're turned on. We're in eco mode right now. Yeah.
We're good to go.
Give it a try here. So far, it pretty much feels like a 5.5, which is the bike it was modeled after. So I guess that kind of makes sense. I just feel like Lance Armstrong on a 5.5. Still in eco mode. Just cruising up. This is a trail that We've ridden a ton on normal pedal bikes, so it should be kind of cool to see what it's like on an e-bike. So one thing I noticed already about this bike is because of how short the rear end is, you got to be careful not to loop out when you're like putting down power on a climb. I've already done a couple little wheelies that turned into a little tap the rear brake, oh shit moment. Trade-off for the fun side, I guess. This is my first time riding a Di2 equipped e-bike, and it's a match made in heaven for sure. Alright, so I'm gonna boost it up here. Right now we're in trail. I'm gonna go to boost mode. We'll see how that feels. Alright, we're in boost. Hauling ass uphill. So we're doing like 12 miles an hour uphill. Great power delivery. 15 uphill. Flats out here a little bit. Alright, so we're coming up a little switchback section here. Should be a cool little test of how this bike corners on tight stuff. Yeah, and that really short back end is awesome in this stuff.
There's a gate, we gotta turn around. Can't go over that.
Can you pick up these heavy bikes?
Jump in this thing.
They have a walk mode. Do they have like a lift mode?
The motor seems pretty strong. Front end of this bike feels low. Though it's not, it feels low. The stem is also longer, which brings the front end of your body down a little bit. I have a 35 stem, this is a 50. Bike feels good though.
We just finished our first ride on the Pivot Shuttle. Overall, this is a super sick bike. I think we were both really impressed with it. Like I said a little bit earlier, we benchmarked it against the Specialized Levo with the original motor. So they just updated that motor, but we benchmarked it against that just as a little way to compare it. Definitely the Shimano motor has amazingly smooth power delivery. It feels really natural, even in slow technical sections where it's a little bit tough for the electric motor. This was very natural feeling. It just felt like you had a little more strength in your legs than you actually do. Rear chainstays are super short. It was awesome for flicking the bike around corners, manualing, popping. The bike was really lively because of it, but on the way up, if you put down too much power in the saddle, it did get a little light on the front end. Just a trade-off when you have a shorter rear end, and that's kind of something that people can choose between whether they like it or not. The other thing we noticed was the Di2 had super crisp shifting. It was awesome, even under load. Really firm, smooth, nice shifts. Definitely better than some of the mechanical e-bike drivetrains that we've been on recently. And it paired really, really nice with the Shimano motor. Just because of the nature of an e-bike having a motor, you have to be pretty precise with your shifting. You have to kind of let off the power and then shift gears. Otherwise you'll get pretty harsh shifts. But with this Di2, it was actually a lot less picky than the mechanical drivetrains we're used to. You could hammer down on gears even when you're on the power, which you're not supposed to do, but it definitely handled it much smoother than some of the mechanical drivetrains that we've been on. The suspension is a DW link design, really supple, really responsive, awesome bump compliance, really nice pedaling as well. It'll be really cool to see this in a longer term review and kind of stack it up against some of the other competitors. All right, so I think we've stolen Ben's bike long enough. We're gonna head back to the shop, and yeah, thanks for watching the video, and check in for the full review in a couple months. See ya. Thank you.
Thank you.